Welcome to Inspire and Move, the show that inspires you to create, connect, and grow. I'm going to bring you meaningful conversations, aha moments, and all the motivation you need to up-level every part of your life. I'm Ali Aruda, founder of Inspire and Move, and your personal hype girl. I've gone from fashion school to celebrity stylist to corporate marketing to brick and mortar entrepreneurship with my husband, each time learning incredible lessons how to pivot, reimagine, and implement the steps to become successful. I am passionate about inspiring others to live their best life, a life of joy. We have the power to design a life that we love because life is too short not to. The best part is that you weren't meant to do this alone. If you feel like you were meant for more, let me ride shotgun with you, and together, let's get you to where you want to go. Hello, you guys. Welcome back to the show. I am your host, Ali Aruda, and welcome to the Inspire and Move podcast. I hope wherever you are today, you are having an amazing day, full of high vibes and abundance and just really great energy. And that is the segue I kind of wanted to use because we are going to talk about hype girl hacks today. I got this sort of just surge of inspiration when I was walking one of my dogs earlier, obviously listening to a podcast, and I was sort of reflecting on the notion of just that significance of positive propaganda and how, honestly, guys, there are so many incredible shows out there when it comes to the podcast space that you just have the best access at your fingertips to positivity and high vibes and hype girls. And so I just had this like mental riff. I was like, I feel like I want to do an episode just talking about hype girl hacks. And I feel like I personally have sort of can get that nickname in our gym, as you know, Benchmark Fitness, downtown Burlington, Ontario. Whoop, whoop. And I think because it's obviously it's ours, so I'm extra hype. But being in a gym environment we are very dedicated to creating a positive environment, a positive space, and really awesome culture for our team, but also for what our members experience. So you already have that in this gym space, but then you also have this notion like within that of people's goals and what they're working on and what they're achieving. And so I feel like naturally, this is a space that we've worked really hard to create and that is ours. So I am going to be a super big hype girl and I am going to be fired the F up as you smash your goals and achieve new things. And oh my gosh, guys, it feels so good when I can see and celebrate other people's wins. And that's what I really want to kind of dial into is how special it is when we hop on board and celebrate achievements for somebody else. I think it is absolutely important to celebrate our own and our own successes and milestones and big wins. I am totally here for that. I am a big proponent of that in my life, for Matt and I, in our businesses. Big proponent of that. But when it comes to other people, that's also really important. And I talked about this not too long ago at an event that I was a panelist on, a panel that I was on at this Porsche event, and how important it is to have people in your life that celebrate you, but also that care. And it doesn't necessarily need to be like, you've built and sold a company and so you're getting this amazing recognition and celebration. It honestly could just be a little check-in. Like maybe you've had something amazing happen and you have people in your life that remember that and they give a shit and they care. And it's something that I'm really trying to practice over the last probably 6 to 12 months that I think, let's be real. Everybody is really busy. And I personally try to not use that term very often because it is so overused in my humble opinion. I think it is wonderful that people are busy and that you have businesses and investments and children and babysitters and hair appointments and nail appointments. Like we're all busy. There's always appointments. If you really, want to dial into your health and wellness, my gosh, you have so many appointments to go to between physio, massage, chiro, cold plunge, cryotherapy. Our calendars can be stacked with appointments or meetings. You're building a business. You have podcast guests. Of course, we are all busy. But I think we need to make a concerted effort of dropping in the little buckets of time to drop in and pour into the people that we care about and being that hype girl, hype guy, hype squad for people that you care about. And yes, that could be in person, let's say at the gym, because that's something that I can really relate to. And I'm chatting here with you, my friends. I love that. I love celebrating. We've got some members that are just kind of getting started on the treadmill, and the impact of them going from a 1% incline to a 1.5% incline, that's huge. And for them, that's a big win. And if we can be people that are celebrating him or her hitting these goals, that feels really good, because that's got to feel good for them. And if you can add that extra little energy, they're going to have that extra pep in the step. And it's just this little like abundance circle of energy and support and love. But it could also be that maybe you've had a really awesome experience in your life that is coming up and people know about it, and then it happens. And honestly, I'll give you a specific story. So last week I had this super cool opportunity to do a full day photo shoot with a world-renowned photographer. His name is Paul Busetta, and we were shooting for Strong Fitness magazine. I'm just going to pause right there, because that was a flippin' epic experience. And this whole thing, and I actually feel like I should do an episode just about this, because I have expressed so much gratitude to my friend and this incredible human. Lori Harder set this up for me. And it was because of her that this opportunity came my way, and then had the conversations with Paul directly. And boom, here we are. We booked the photo shoot a few weeks, in advance. And then it was last week, and it was a really awesome day. And I had friends that poured into me like the night before, the morning of, just wishing me well, that, I know today's a big day for you. I'm really excited for you. I hope you crush it. I hope you just really soak it in. All the messages were different depending on who it was coming from. And I remember coming home that evening and saying to Matt, like, wow, that really makes me feel nice that people made a mental note of that. And maybe they wrote it in their calendar. I do that. I have a lot of friends that are in the season of becoming moms, and I can appreciate that their ultrasounds or these different appointments that they go to are a big deal. So I will make mental notes in my calendar to know. And it could be like, I still love a good pen and paper agenda or my iPhone calendar, and I will make a note of like, so-and-so's ultrasound day or the gender reveal day, or whatever it may be, because this is a big moment for them and I can appreciate that. So I'm going to note that, and I want to honor that. And those are just little things I think that we can practice to be that hype person for people that you care about. And it was something that I experienced last week that, I try to practice this, but then I got to experience it on the other end last week, and it feels really nice. And if we're, being real here, guys, it doesn't take a lot of time, but yet the value and the impact that you can have far outweighs let's call it an investment of your time. You invest this little bit of time, but then you're going to have the expansive impact that you're going to make on the other end for that person that you care about. And that's one of the things when we kind of coming back to like hype girl hacks, as I'm going to call them, that's it. And I think even, another thing I try to do, again, we have a brick and mortar business, but I really make an effort of remembering people's names, and people love being made to feel great. And I feel like I told this story not too long ago, maybe here or maybe to somebody. So if I already told it here, just, here we are. We're going to listen to it again. That I remember years and years ago, when I lived in Toronto, I went to the same Starbucks every morning on my way to work. And I remember the point in time of my regular daily visits when they knew my name was Allie. That was huge for me. And I felt so good walking into Starbucks that day and all the days after that, because now I feel like I'm part of their community, their culture. Like, this is my Starbucks. This is where I go. And that's something that I've taken with me throughout my entire adulthood, life, career. And now that I own a business myself that is brick and mortar, where I do see people on a daily, regular basis, that is something that I'm really passionate about putting into practice, because it makes them feel good. And then you kind of, take that a step further by celebrating milestones for them, whether, they wanted to lose 5 pounds before their wedding and they did, or they really wanted to hit a certain weight on the squat rack, or they wanted to hit a certain speed interval on the treadmill. Matt and I have talked about this before. We've got a friend training for a big marathon. It's actually coming up this weekend, and he is so dialed in with his training right now. He is going to crush it. And we are going to go watch him at the finish line and celebrate him, because this is something that he is really committed to doing. And this is a huge deal for him. And holy smokes, we are going to be there to celebrate that. So my little takeaway advice for you guys is, where can you be a hype girl or a hype guy for people in your life, for people in your community? How can you show up for them and hype them up? Whether it is in the gym, if you are in a gym, studio, wherever it may be, use that as an environment, because here we are, friend to friend. That could be relatable. You can hear me talk about it, and maybe that could be a takeaway for you, and it could inspire you to do the same thing. I friggin' love it. Sometimes, honestly, when I'm training some of my clients that also happen to be some of my best friends, I will announce their weights in the gym that, oh my God, Liz is crushing it. And she did a row. We'll do a balance row, like a bird dog row. She did her bird dog row with a 25-pound dumbbell that when we started, it might've been 15. And for me to be able to announce that and celebrate that, that is exciting. And I am here for that. I will be her hype girl forever and ever, because that takes hard work, determination, and commitment. And I am here to celebrate all of those things. So where in your life, in your community, in maybe your daily or weekly routine, can you pour into someone and be that hype girl or guy for them? Or perhaps you're taking another pointer, let's call it, that pay attention to what your friends and your people have going on and write them down. Guys, we have so much technology. We have so many tools at our fingertips. Maybe you're you use Slack or Asana. There's all these options that we have access to for just efficiency and organization. So make notes. Maybe you have a secretary. Get them to help you and make some notes of big things that are happening in your friend's life. Make note of that and celebrate them. Another hack I love doing is I love sending little Starbucks cards, $5, $10, $15, $20 that just, the nice thing about Starbucks is they're everywhere. So I will drop in and sometimes I'll do one, sometimes I'll do 5, and I'll just send a little love note to friends. Like, I'm proud of you. I see you. Maybe they're a realtor. They closed a super big deal, whatever it could be. There's so many examples. I don't need to go on and on with examples of how this could work, but I want to give you guys tools or suggestions that you can use. Copy my ideas. They're not super groundbreaking, but they're working for me, and they're things that I'm trying to dial in more and more. And I would love to share that with you if that feels like something that you guys would love to do. So let's just recap these 3 little hacks, okay? We are going to celebrate people in person, and the example that I've been using is at the gym. And it could be their, increased amount of weight that they're pushing or pulling, or speed intervals, whatever it may be. Number 2, writing down what's going on in people's lives that you care about. Make a note. When's their ultrasound appointment? When are they listing their house for sale? Whatever it may be. Just being responsible and proactive, paying attention to what they share, writing down those dates and what's happening, and then asking them about it, celebrating it. Just show that you care. And then number 3, let's add that in, that pour in, spend $5 to $20 either on one Starbucks card or a few Starbucks cards, and send some love notes that just hype up these people that you care about. Just tell them that you see them, you're proud of them, they're doing a great job, you're grateful for them, whatever feels aligned for you. I would love for you to borrow these ideas. Inspire and move, baby. Take my inspiration, take it as inspiration, and then make a move on it. And if you do, drop me a DM. I would love to know if this resonates with you, if it feels aligned for you, if there's something that you love between options 1, 2, and 3, or maybe you did them all. So love and gratitude for you guys. Thank you so much for being here. And if I can add an ask, maybe we'll add a little number 4 here. Would love and so appreciate a 5-star rating, maybe a little review, what you're loving about the show. I always say that, my DMs are open if there's something that you would love to hear on the show. Is there a guest that you would love to hear on the show? Slide into my DMs, let me know. But as always, thank you so much for being here. I'm really grateful for you. Mwah. See you soon. Thank you so much for listening. If you loved this episode, it would mean the world to me if you took 30 seconds and shared this on social media, send it to a friend, or leave a 5-star review. There is power in community, and I am so grateful to have you part of mine.